If you have noticed that your body no longer responds with the firm, reliable strength it once had, if your energy feels like a flickering candle in a drafty room, and you find yourself quietly pulling away from intimacy, not because the desire has faded, but because your physical self simply won't show up for the job, I need you to listen very closely. As a men's health specialist with over 3 decades of experience, I have sat across from thousands of men who were convinced that their best years were in the rearview mirror. Men who believed that a loss of drive and a softening of their physical presence was just the inevitable tax of getting older. But the truth is often far more hopeful and much more fixable than a simple old age diagnosis. What you are likely experiencing is a silent internal starvation, a direct result of your body crying out for 3 specific nutrients that are the chemical fuel for your masculinity. And today, I am going to show you exactly how to restore your natural circulation and reclaim the confidence you thought was gone for good. Most doctors in the modern healthcare system won't tell you this during a standard 10-minute checkup, but men over the age of 60 have an entirely different set of biological blueprints than younger men, and the vast majority of us are not actually lacking in desire or manhood, but rather the essential infrastructure of blood flow, nervous system stamina, and hormonal protection. The first and most critical foundation of this restoration is vitamin D, often colloquially called the sunshine vitamin, though it actually functions in the human body as a potent pro-hormone that controls over 2,000 different genes. I will never forget a patient of mine named Paul, a 67-year-old retired school principal who was sharp, respected, and deeply frustrated because his body had become a stranger to him, leaving him unable to be close to his wife, despite his mind being as sharp as ever. Paul's story is the story of millions of American men, as over 40% of older adults are clinically deficient in vitamin D, which acts as the circulation spark plug for your entire system. When your vitamin D levels are low, your body loses its ability to produce nitric oxide, the miracle molecule that signals your blood vessels to relax and expand, allowing oxygen-rich blood to reach the extremities and the areas essential for intimacy. Without this expansion, your circulation becomes sluggish, and your performance suffers, making you feel as though your body has given up on you, when in reality, it just lacks the signal to open the pathways. By spending just 15 to 20 minutes in the morning sun, or incorporating a high-quality D3 supplement paired with healthy fats, you can radically shift how your body performs, as I saw with Paul, who regained his energy and his connection with his partner, not through a pharmaceutical quick fix, but through the simple chemistry of restoring his circulatory health. But circulation is only one half of the equation. Because even if you have the best plumbing in the world, the system cannot function without a reliable source of power. Which brings us to the second pillar of male vitality. Vitamin B12, the energy generator for your nervous system and your muscles. I remember a patient named Robert, a 72-year-old former firefighter who was the definition of tough as nails, but found himself dragging through his days like he was walking through knee-deep water, suffering from a brain fog that made him feel disconnected from his family, and a physical lethargy that made intimacy feel like an impossible chore. What Robert didn't realise, and what many men don't know, is that as we age, our stomachs produce less of a specific protein called intrinsic factor, which is required to absorb vitamin B12 from the food we eat. Meaning, you could eat a steak every night and still be dangerously deficient. Vitamin B12 is the architect of your red blood cells, which are responsible for carrying oxygen to your brain, your heart, and your sexual organs. And when your levels are low, your entire system begins to run on empty, leading to that chronic, tired for no reason feeling that so many older men mistake for a natural part of aging. When we corrected Robert's deficiency using the active form of B12, his mental clarity returned almost overnight, and his physical stamina improved so significantly that he felt like he had been given a second wind in life, proving that your energy isn't gone. It's just waiting for the right fuel to ignite it. While circulation and energy are the drivers of your daily life, Your body also needs a sophisticated defense system to protect the hormones that define your masculinity, which is where vitamin E, the fertility defender and cardiovascular protector, plays its starring role. I once treated a man named James, a 70-year-old pilot who prided himself on his discipline and health, but found that his drive had plummeted and he no longer bounced back from physical exertion the way he used to. James was suffering from oxidative stress, a process where unstable molecules in the body begin to rust your blood vessels and damage your testosterone molecules from the inside out, leading to a slow decline in mood, motivation, and physical response. Vitamin E is a powerful, fat-soluble antioxidant that keeps your blood vessels flexible and supple, ensuring that blood can flow freely exactly when and where it is needed, while also supporting the Leydig cells in your testes to produce testosterone more efficiently. For a man over 60, vitamin E is like the oil in a high-performance engine. It prevents friction, reduces inflammation, and ensures that all the other systems can work in harmony. When James began incorporating natural sources of vitamin E like almonds, sunflower seeds, and high-quality olive oil into his diet, he described a sensation of feeling like a man again, regaining not just his physical performance, but the mental edge and competitive drive that had quietly slipped away over the years. The true secret to reclaiming your strength doesn't lie in taking these vitamins individually, but in understanding how they work together to create what I call the vitality triangle. A synergistic relationship where vitamin D opens the pathways, vitamin B12 provides the electrical fuel, and vitamin E protects the entire system from the wear and tear of aging. I've watched this transformation happen in countless men like Walter, a 68-year-old coach who spent years trying various supplements with no luck until he began taking all three consistently and in their correct forms. This synergy is especially vital because your body's ability to recover and adapt slows down after 60, and a single missing piece in this nutritional puzzle can cause the entire system to stall, making you feel decades older than you actually are. When you bring these three into balance, you start to wake up feeling more rested. You experience a natural responsiveness that you might have thought was a thing of the past, and you gain a sense of confidence that no prescription medication can manufacture, because it is coming from your body's own restored health. However, I must warn you about the single most dangerous mistake that nearly 80% of men make when they decide to take control of their health. A mistake that can actually cancel out all of your progress and leave you feeling just as drained as before. Many men walk into a discount store and buy the cheapest, most generic bottle of multivitamins they can find, assuming that all vitamins are created equal. But this couldn't be further from the truth. For example, most cheap brands use a form of vitamin B12 called cyanocobalamin, which is a synthetic version that the aging liver struggles to process and convert into something the body can actually use. What you need instead is the active form, methylcobalamin, which your body can absorb and utilize almost instantly. The same is true for vitamin D. Many supplements use D2, which is significantly less effective than the D3 that your body naturally produces from sunlight. Taking the wrong form or being inconsistent with your daily routine is like trying to fuel a jet engine with low-grade kerosene. You might get a few sparks, but you'll never get off the ground. This is why consistency and quality are the two most important factors in your journey toward restoration. Your body thrives on rhythm and requires steady, high-quality support to rebuild the energy and blood flow that have been declining for years. The good news is that you do not need a complicated or expensive medical regimen to start feeling the difference. You simply need a daily vitality routine that prioritizes these three essentials in a way that fits seamlessly into your life. I often tell my patients to follow the example of Frank, a 66-year-old carpenter who rebuilt his life by making small, deliberate choices every single day. Frank started his mornings with a tall glass of water and his B12 supplement to wake up his nervous system, followed by a short walk in the morning sunlight to jumpstart his vitamin D production. He made sure to include healthy fats like avocado or olive oil in his lunch to ensure his vitamin E and D were properly absorbed, as these are fat-soluble nutrients that won't work on an empty stomach. Within just a few weeks, Frank wasn't just getting by. He was thriving, playing with his grandkids, reconnecting with his wife, and carrying himself with the posture of a man who knew he was back in control. You have the power to do the exact same thing, because your body is an incredibly resilient machine that is constantly looking for the chance to repair itself if you only give it the right tools. As we reach the conclusion of this message, I want to speak to you not just as a medical professional, but as a man who understands the weight of the years and the value of the legacy you have built. You have lived a full life. You have stood strong for your family, and you have faced challenges that younger generations can only imagine. And the fact that you are here seeking answers proves that your spirit is still as strong as ever. The questions you have about your physical performance are not a sign of weakness or a signal that you should give up. They are a sign that you are still in the fight and that you are ready to reclaim the vitality that is your birthright. It is not too late to feel a surge of energy when you wake up in the morning. It is not too late to feel desired and capable in your relationships. And it is certainly not too late to be the man you know yourself to be, deep down, bold, strong, and fully alive. You have already taken the most important step by educating yourself today. And now the next step is yours to take. Audit your supplements, get out into the sun, and start feeding your body the 3 vitamins it has been quietly begging for. If this message has spoken to you and given you a sense of hope, I invite you to join our community by hitting the like button and sharing this with a friend or a brother who might be struggling in silence. Because we are building a movement of men who refuse to let their golden years be anything less than spectacular. Thank you for your time, thank you for your trust, and I look forward to hearing about your journey as you reclaim your strength and your future, starting right now.